You have spent so long under the weight of something you could not name, a heaviness that followed you from room to room, from year to year, from one version of yourself to the next. It was not depression exactly, though it wore that mask sometimes. It was not anxiety, though it borrowed that language when it needed to explain itself to others. It was something deeper, something older, something that felt less like an emotion and more like a verdict. As if somewhere, in some realm you could not see but could always feel, a decision had been made about you. A flag had been raised. A signal had been sent. And that signal said not yet, not ready, not cleared. And you lived inside that signal for so long that you forgot it was even there. You built your life around it. You made choices from within it. You loved from inside it. You created from inside it. You moved through the world carrying this invisible restriction like a second skeleton beneath your skin. And you called it normal because you had never known anything else. But something has shifted. You feel it. You may not have the words for it yet, but your body knows. Your nervous system knows. Something that was tight has loosened. Something that was locked has opened. Something that was watching you, weighing you, measuring every thought and every intention against some invisible standard, has finally stepped back. And what I am about to tell you is going to challenge everything you thought you understood about spiritual progress, about divine timing, about what it means to be chosen, and about what it means to be cleared. Because here is what no one tells you. The red alert was never a punishment. It was never a sign that you were broken or unworthy or behind. The red alert was a containment field. It was a holding pattern. It was the universe saying you are too important to release before you are ready, too powerful to let loose before you have learned how to carry what you carry without destroying yourself or others in the process. The red alert was not heaven turning against you. It was heaven holding you so close that it looked like rejection from the inside. Let that land for a moment. Every door that closed, every relationship that dissolved at the exact moment you thought it was going to save you, every opportunity that evaporated just as your fingers brushed against it, every prayer that seemed to bounce off the ceiling and fall back into your lap unanswered. None of that was abandonment. All of it was calibration. All of it was the system making sure that when you finally stepped into the fullness of what you are here to do, you would not be carrying the debris of a life that was never meant to be yours in the first place. And now, that process is complete. Not almost complete. Not nearly there. Not one more lesson away. Complete. The red alert is over. The containment field has dissolved. The holding pattern has released. And what is flooding into the space where that restriction used to live is something so vast and so alive that your mind does not yet have a category for it. But your body does. Your cells do. The part of you that existed before you had a name, before you had a story, before you had a wound. That part of you recognizes exactly what is happening right now. You have been cleared. Now let me explain what that actually means, because the spiritual world has turned the concept of being cleared into something shallow. Something that sounds like a certificate you receive after completing a course. Something transactional. You did the work, here is your reward. But that is not what this is. Being cleared is not a reward for good behavior. Being cleared is a phase transition. It is the moment when the caterpillar stops being a caterpillar and the butterfly has not yet emerged. But the soup, the absolute dissolution of everything that was, has completed its work, and the new form is ready to take shape. If this idea of signals and containment fields is stirring something in you, here is something I want to share. Have you spent years chasing manifestation, visualizing, affirming, raising your vibration, only to watch the same patterns repeat? Every traditional method assumes the same thing, that you are separate from what you want. That separation was never real. You were chasing a signal you were already broadcasting. Beyond the frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery walks through all 9 frequencies. From the dense transmissions trapping you, through the ascending currents, to the master frequencies where consciousness becomes the field. Every method you tried sent a signal outward. This one tunes the signal you already are. Every day you delay, your nervous system broadcasts the same old signal, and breaking free gets harder. So move on it tonight. The link is in the pinned comment below. Now let us return to the transformation that is unfolding inside you. Think about what happens inside a chrysalis. Most people imagine a gentle transformation, wings slowly forming, colors gradually appearing. But that is not what happens at all. What happens is total destruction. The caterpillar literally digests itself. It dissolves into a formless biological soup. Every structure, every cell, every system that made it what it was breaks down completely. And within that soup, there are these tiny clusters of cells called imaginal cells. They carry the blueprint of the butterfly. And at first, the immune system of the dissolving caterpillar attacks them. It treats them as threats, as invaders, as something foreign and dangerous. The old system fights the new one with everything it has. Does that sound familiar? Every time you tried to become something new, every time you reached for a higher version of yourself, every time you felt the pull of your true purpose, did it not feel like something inside you attacked it? Did it not feel like your own system turned against you? Like your own thoughts became hostile? Like your own patterns rose up and said, no, not you, not this. You do not get to have this. That was not self-sabotage. That was the old system doing exactly what old systems do, fighting to preserve themselves against the emergence of something they cannot recognize, something they cannot categorize, something that does not fit within the architecture of who you used to be. But here's the thing about imaginal cells. They persist. They do not fight back. They do not argue with the immune system. They simply keep showing up. They keep vibrating at the frequency of what they are becoming. And eventually, the old immune response exhausts itself. It runs out of ammunition. It stops attacking. And the imaginal cells begin to find each other. They cluster together. They communicate. They organize. And from the soup of total dissolution, something entirely new takes form. That is what has happened inside you. That is what the red alert period was. You were in the chrysalis. You were in the soup. And every painful thing, every confusing thing, every dark night, every morning where you woke up and did not know who you were anymore, that was not failure. That was the dissolution completing itself. That was the old architecture releasing its grip so that the new one could emerge. And it has emerged. You have emerged. Not as a better version of the old you, not as a repaired or upgraded version of who you were, but as something genuinely new. Something that carries the wisdom of everything you have been through, but is not defined by any of it. Something that remembers the pain but is not organized around it. Something that has been through the fire and came out not hardened, but clarified. If this message is resonating with something deep inside you, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss what comes next in this journey. This is what the ancient traditions meant when they spoke of purification. Not the removal of sin, not the scrubbing away of imperfection, but the burning away of everything that is not essential. The way a goldsmith heats gold to extreme temperatures, not to punish the metal, but to bring the impurities to the surface where they can be removed. The gold was always gold. The heat did not create its value. The heat revealed it. You were always what you are. The red alert did not create your worth. The clearing did not grant you permission to be valuable. The entire process simply removed what was obscuring the truth of what you have always been. And this is where so many people get confused about the concept of being chosen. They hear the word chosen and they think it means selected, picked out from a lineup, pointed at by some cosmic finger while everyone else gets passed over. But that is not what chosen means in the context of what is happening to you. Chosen means you chose. Before you had a body, before you had a name, before you had any of the experiences that would come to define your human story. You chose this. You chose to come here during this specific window of time. You chose to carry the particular frequency that you carry. You chose to go through the dissolution. You chose the chrysalis. You chose the soup. And the red alert, the containment period, the years of feeling held back and locked down and unable to fully express what you knew you were capable of. That was part of what you chose too. Not because you wanted to suffer, but because you understood, from that pre-incarnation perspective, that the timing had to be exact, that releasing your full capacity into a world that was not yet ready to receive it would have been like pouring water into a cup that had not yet been formed. The water would have had nowhere to go. It would have spilled everywhere. It would have been wasted. But now the cup exists. Now the container is ready. Now the world, or more precisely, your specific corner of it, the people you are meant to reach, the situations you are meant to influence, the reality you are meant to reshape. Now it is ready for what you carry. And you can feel this readiness not as excitement, though excitement may be part of it, but as a deep settling, a profound okay, a sense that the ground beneath your feet has finally solidified after years of walking on something that felt like it could give way at any moment. You are not anxious about the future in the way you used to be. You are not desperate for answers in the way you used to be. Something in you has stopped grasping. And that cessation of grasping is not resignation. It is not giving up. It is the natural result of arriving. You stop reaching for something when you realize you are already standing in it. I want to pause here and ask you something. What was the moment you first felt the containment field begin to crack? What was the experience, the conversation, the realization that made you sense for the first time that something was shifting? Share it in the comments below, because your story might be the exact confirmation someone else needs to trust their own process. Let me go deeper into what the clearing actually looks like in practical terms, because this is not just a metaphysical concept. This has tangible, observable effects in your daily life, and if you pay attention, you will recognize them. The first thing you will notice is that your tolerance for misalignment has dropped to nearly zero. Things you used to be able to tolerate, conversations that go nowhere, relationships built on obligation rather than genuine connection. Work that requires you to perform a version of yourself that no longer exists. These things have become almost physically unbearable. Not because you have become rigid or judgmental, but because your system has recalibrated to such a degree that anything operating at a frequency lower than your new baseline creates immediate dissonance. It is like tuning a radio to a clear station and then trying to listen to static. You cannot do it, not because you are being difficult, but because your receiver has changed. And this is going to create some turbulence in your external world. People who were comfortable with the old you are going to feel confused by the new you, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because you are no longer matching the energetic contract they had with your previous version. Every relationship is an energetic agreement. When one party fundamentally changes the terms of that agreement, the other party has to decide whether they can meet the new terms or not. Some will. Some will not. And the ones who cannot are going to fall away, not with drama necessarily. Sometimes it will be dramatic, but more often it will be a quiet fading, a gradual loss of resonance, a growing distance that neither of you can quite explain, but both of you can feel. Let this happen. Do not chase what is leaving. Do not try to drag the old world into the new frequency. You cannot bring everything with you. That is not cruelty. That is physics. When water becomes steam, it does not take the pot with it. It releases the container that held it in its previous form and rises into a state that the container cannot follow. The second thing you will notice is a strange new relationship with time. During the red alert period, time felt heavy. It felt like something you were trapped inside. Every day was something to get through. Every week was something to survive. The future felt either terrifyingly uncertain or numbingly predetermined, and neither option felt like freedom. But now, time is starting to feel different. Not faster or slower exactly, but more fluid, more responsive, as if time itself is bending around your intentions rather than marching forward in a straight line that you have to keep up with. This is not your imagination. This is what happens when your consciousness shifts from a state of resistance to a state of coherence. When you are in resistance, when you are fighting against what is, when you are trying to force reality to conform to your expectations, time becomes dense. It thickens. Every moment carries the weight of your opposition to it. But when you move into coherence, when your inner state and your outer expression come into alignment, time becomes lighter. It becomes more like a river you are floating in rather than a wall you are pushing against. You start to notice synchronicities not as rare magical events, but as the natural operating system of a reality that is now cooperating with you because you have stopped fighting it. The third thing, and this one might be the most disorienting, is that your sense of identity is going to feel unstable for a while. Not in a crisis way, not in a way that feels like you are falling apart, but in a way that feels like you are between stories. The old story of who you are, the one built on your wounds, your limitations, your coping mechanisms, your carefully constructed personality. That story has ended. But the new story has not fully written itself yet, and in that gap, in that space between who you were and who you are becoming, there is a kind of sacred emptiness that can feel like confusion if you do not know what it is. But I want you to understand something about this emptiness. It is not a void. It is a womb. It is not the absence of something. It is the presence of pure potential. It is the quantum field before the wave function collapses. It is every possibility existing simultaneously, waiting for your conscious observation to select which one becomes real. And this is where the science becomes indistinguishable from the sacred. Quantum physics tells us that at the subatomic level, particles do not exist in definite states until they are observed. Before observation, they exist in what is called a superposition, a state where all possible outcomes coexist simultaneously. It is only when a conscious observer looks, when attention is directed, that the wave function collapses and one specific reality emerges from the field of infinite possibility. You are standing in that superposition right now. The red alert kept you in a defined state. It kept your wave function collapsed around a specific identity, a specific set of limitations, a specific story about who you were and what you could do. But now that the red alert has lifted, your wave function has expanded. You are no longer locked into a single possibility. You are standing in the field of all possibilities, and the next reality that emerges, the next version of your life that takes form, will be determined not by your past, not by your wounds, not by your history, but by where you place your attention now. This is the most critical thing I can tell you. Where you place your attention in this moment, in this window of clearing, will determine the trajectory of everything that follows. Not because you are manifesting in the shallow sense that social media has turned that word into. Not because you are placing an order with the universe like it is some kind of cosmic delivery service, but because your attention is the mechanism through which infinite possibility becomes specific reality. Your attention is the observer that collapses the wave function. Your attention is the creative force of the universe expressing itself through the focal point of your consciousness. And for the first time in what might feel like years, your attention is free. It is no longer captured by survival. It is no longer hijacked by fear. It is no longer consumed by the constant low-grade emergency of living inside a containment field. Your attention has been liberated, and liberated attention is the most powerful force in the known universe. So let me ask you something, and I want you to actually sit with this question rather than answering it immediately. If you could place your now liberated attention on anything, if you could direct the full force of your cleared, coherent consciousness toward any possibility, what would you choose? Not what do you think you should choose. Not what would look good. Not what would make other people comfortable. What would you actually choose if you truly understood that the red alert is over and the field is wide open? Hold that question. Do not rush to answer it. Let it live in you. Let it breathe. Let it reveal itself in its own time. Because the answer to that question is not going to come from your mind. Your mind is still updating its maps. Your mind is still running on the old software. The answer is going to come from a deeper place. From the same place that chose to come here in the first place. From the same intelligence that designed the entire journey you have been on, including the parts that felt like they were destroying you. Trust that intelligence. It has not failed you yet, even when it felt like it was failing you completely. Now I want to talk about something that is going to happen in the coming days and weeks that you need to be prepared for, because it catches almost everyone off guard. When the red alert lifts, when the containment field dissolves, there is a period of what I can only describe as energetic detox, and it does not feel the way you might expect liberation to feel. You might expect to feel light and free and joyful, and you will feel those things. But you will also feel waves of grief. Not grief for anything specific, necessarily. Grief for the time that passed while you were in containment. Grief for the versions of yourself that lived and died inside the chrysalis. Grief for the relationships that did not survive the transformation. Grief for the innocence of not knowing what you now know. This grief is not a sign that something is wrong. It is the emotional equivalent of the body releasing toxins during a fast. It is stored energy that was compressed during the containment period, and now that the pressure has been removed, it is expanding and moving through you on its way out. Let it move. Do not try to understand it. Do not try to assign it to a specific cause. Do not try to fix it. Just let it move through you like weather, like a storm that has been building for years and is finally being allowed to rain itself out. The rain is not the problem. The rain is the solution. The problem was the pressure system that kept the rain trapped in the clouds. You might also experience sudden bursts of energy that feel almost manic. Creative impulses that wake you up at 3 a.m. Ideas that arrive fully formed as if they were downloaded rather than thought. A desire to move, to create, to build, to reach out, to start, to leap. This is also part of the detox. This is the energy that was being held back during the red alert, now flooding into your system all at once. And the temptation will be to act on all of it immediately. To try to do everything at once. To make up for lost time. Resist that temptation. Not because the impulses are wrong, but because your system needs time to adjust to its new capacity. Think of it like a dam that has been holding back a river. When the dam opens, you do not want to open all the floodgates at once. You open them gradually. You let the water find its new channels. You let the landscape downstream adjust to the increased flow. If you open everything at once, you do not get a river. You get a flood. And a flood, no matter how much water it carries, destroys more than it nourishes. So move with the energy, but move deliberately. Move with intention. Move with the understanding that you have time now. That is the gift of the clearing. You have time. The urgency you felt during the red alert. The sense that you were running out of time. That the window was closing. That you had to figure it out now or never. That urgency was a feature of the containment field. It was the pressure that kept you moving, kept you growing, kept you dissolving even when you wanted to stop. But that pressure has served its purpose. You do not need it anymore. You can move from inspiration now rather than desperation. You can create from overflow rather than deficit. You can choose from abundance rather than scarcity. And this shift, from desperation to inspiration, from deficit to overflow, from scarcity to abundance, this is not just a change in your emotional state. This is a change in the fundamental frequency at which you are operating. And when your frequency changes, your reality changes. Not eventually, not someday. Now. The reality you experience is always a perfect mirror of the frequency you are broadcasting. Always. Without exception. The delay you experienced between your inner shifts and your outer results during the red alert, that delay was the containment field. It was a buffer, a cushion between your consciousness and your reality designed to protect you from manifesting before you were ready to handle what you would create. That buffer is gone now, which means the lag time between your inner state and your outer reality is going to shrink dramatically. What you think, what you feel, what you believe, what you expect, these things are going to show up in your physical experience with a speed that might startle you. This is why the clearing comes with such responsibility. This is why the red alert existed in the first place. Because the power to create reality in real time is not something you hand to someone who has not been through the fire. It is not something you give to someone who is still operating from their wounds, from their ego, from their unexamined patterns. That would be like giving a child the keys to a vehicle they do not know how to drive. But you have been through the fire. You have been through the dissolution. You have faced your shadows and your wounds and your patterns. Not because you wanted to, but because the containment field would not let you avoid them. Every time you tried to bypass your healing, every time you tried to skip ahead, every time you tried to manifest your way out of your own transformation, the red alert pulled you back in. It said, no, you have to go through this, not around it. You have to feel this, not think your way past it. You have to become this, not just understand it. And you did. You went through it, all of it. The parts you remember and the parts you have already forgotten. The parts that happened in your waking life and the parts that happened in your dreams, in your meditations, in the quiet hours when your conscious mind was offline and the deeper work was being done without your permission or your awareness. Tell me in the comments, what is the one pattern or identity you can feel dissolving right now? The one thing you know you are finally done carrying. Name it, because there is power in declaring what you are releasing. All of that work has led to this moment, this clearing, this opening, this new beginning that does not feel like a beginning because it carries the weight and the wisdom of everything that came before it. So what do you do now? How do you live inside a cleared field? How do you operate without the containment that, for all its pain, at least gave you structure, at least gave you something to push against, at least gave you a story to tell about why things were not working? Here is what you do. You get very, very still. Not forever, not as a permanent state. But right now, in this transition, stillness is your greatest ally. Because in the stillness, you can hear the new instructions. You can feel the new current. You can sense the new direction. And it will not come as a dramatic revelation. It will not come as a voice from the sky or a burning bush or a neon sign pointing the way. It will come as a quiet knowing, a subtle pull, a gentle leaning towards something that your mind might not be able to justify, but your body recognizes as true. Follow that pull, not blindly, not recklessly, but with the same trust that a river has when it follows the contour of the land. The river does not know where it is going. It does not have a map. It does not have a plan. But it trusts the landscape. It trusts gravity. It trusts the path of least resistance. And that trust, that willingness to flow rather than force, carries it inevitably to the ocean. You are the river now. The red alert was the dam. The dam has opened, and the ocean, whatever that means for you, whatever that looks like in your specific life, the ocean is not something you have to find. It is something you will arrive at naturally if you stop trying to control the current and start trusting it. I want to share something with you about the nature of divine timing that might reframe everything you have experienced during the containment period. Most people think of divine timing as God's schedule, as if there is a cosmic calendar somewhere with your name on it and specific dates circled for when good things are allowed to happen to you. But that is not what divine timing is. Divine timing is resonance matching. It is the moment when your internal frequency matches the frequency of what you are calling in. It is the moment when the tuning fork of your consciousness vibrates at the exact pitch that causes the reality you desire to begin vibrating in response. During the red alert, your frequency was still being tuned. It was still being adjusted. Every experience you went through, every challenge, every loss, every dark night, was another micro-adjustment of your frequency. Another fraction of a degree closer to the exact pitch required for resonance. And you could not rush it. You could not skip tuning steps. You could not jump from middle C to the frequency of your destiny without hitting every note in between. The process had to be sequential because frequency is built on frequency. Each new vibration requires the previous one as its foundation. But now the tuning is complete. Your frequency has reached the pitch that matches what you have been calling in. And the universe, which has been holding your desires in escrow, waiting for the frequency match, is now releasing them. Not all at once, but steadily, consistently, with a reliability that will slowly rebuild your trust in a process that, for years, seemed to have abandoned you. Watch for the signs. They are already appearing, small ones at first. A conversation that opens an unexpected door. A thought that leads to a connection that leads to an opportunity. A stranger who says exactly what you needed to hear without knowing they were delivering a message. A number that keeps appearing. A song that plays at the exact moment you needed its medicine. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. These are the universe showing you that the frequency match is active, that the clearing is real, that the new chapter has begun. And as these signs accumulate, as the evidence builds, something extraordinary is going to happen to your belief system. The doubt that has been your constant companion, the voice that always said, "This is not real. You are making this up. Nothing is actually changing." That voice is going to get quieter, not because you are suppressing it, not because you are arguing with it, but because the evidence against it is becoming overwhelming. Reality itself is going to make the case for your transformation. Your life is going to become the proof that your mind has been demanding. And when that happens, when belief shifts from something you are trying to maintain to something that is being maintained by the weight of evidence, that is when the real acceleration begins. Because belief is not just a psychological state. Belief is a frequency amplifier. When you truly believe, not hope, not wish, not try to convince yourself, but truly believe because you have seen the evidence with your own eyes, your frequency broadcasts with exponentially more power. Your signal becomes clearer. Your resonance becomes stronger. Your ability to collapse possibility into reality becomes faster and more precise. This is the virtuous cycle that the clearing initiates. Clearing leads to coherence. Coherence leads to manifestation. Manifestation leads to evidence. Evidence leads to belief. Belief amplifies coherence, and the cycle accelerates. What took years during the red alert will take months now. What took months will take weeks. What took weeks will take days. Not because you are working harder, but because you are no longer working against the containment field. You are working with the open field, and the open field wants to cooperate with you. It has always wanted to cooperate with you. It was the red alert that created the resistance, and the red alert was never the field's choice. It was yours. You chose it before you came here because you knew you needed it. And now you have chosen, at the deepest level of your being to release it. Because you are ready. Because the tuning is complete. Because the gold has been revealed. Now let me speak directly to something that might be happening in your body as you listen to this. You might be feeling a warmth in your chest, a tingling in your hands or your feet, a pressure in your forehead or the crown of your head, a wave of emotion that does not seem connected to any specific thought, a sense of expansion, as if your energy field is literally getting larger. These are not random sensations. These are the physical signatures of the clearing moving through your energy system in real time. Your body is an antenna. It receives and transmits frequency. And right now, as these words land in your consciousness, they are activating codes that were placed in your energy field before you were born. Not metaphorically, not poetically, literally. There are patterns encoded in your biofield that were designed to activate at specific moments in your journey, and this is one of those moments. The words are not the activation. The words are the key that turns the lock. The activation was always there, waiting for the right frequency to release it. So do not resist what your body is doing right now. If it wants to breathe deeply, let it breathe. If it wants to cry, let it cry. If it wants to shake or tremble or yawn or sigh, let it. These are the body's ways of processing frequency shifts. These are the physical mechanisms through which stored energy is released and new energy is integrated. Your body knows how to do this. It has been doing it your entire life, mostly while you were asleep. But now, because the clearing is conscious, because you are aware of what is happening, the body can process with your participation rather than in spite of your resistance. Place your hand on your chest if you feel called to, not because I am telling you to, but because your body might be asking for it. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the rhythm of something that has never stopped working on your behalf. Through every dark night, through every moment of doubt, through every red alert, your heart kept beating, your lungs kept breathing, your cells kept dividing and repairing and renewing. The intelligence that runs your body never once considered giving up on you. Not once. Even when your mind had given up, even when your emotions had given up, even when your will had given up, the body kept going, because the body knows something the mind does not. The body knows that you are meant to be here, that you are meant to make it through, that the clearing was always coming, and now it is here. Consider listening to this again tomorrow morning, before the noise of the day begins, and let these frequencies reset your field from the moment you wake. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, send this to them. When you share this kind of transmission, you are not just passing along a video. You are extending the frequency match outward. You are creating a ripple in the collective field that strengthens your own coherence while awakening it in someone else. That is how resonance works. It multiplies when it is shared. I want to address one more thing before we close this transmission, because it is something that the chosen ones, the ones who have been through the red alert, the ones who are now standing in the cleared field, almost always struggle with. And that is the question of worthiness, even now. Even after everything you have been through, even after the clearing. There is a part of you that whispers, do I really deserve this? Is this really for me? What if I am not who I think I am? What if this is all a beautiful illusion, and tomorrow I wake up and the containment field is back and nothing has changed? I hear you. And I want to honor that fear because it is not irrational. It is the echo of every time you hoped and were disappointed. Every time you opened your heart and it was broken. Every time you trusted the process and the process seemed to betray you. That fear has earned its place in your psyche. It has been a faithful protector. It has kept you from hoping too much, from risking too much, from being hurt too much. But its job is done now, just as the red alert's job is done. The fear can retire, not by being killed or suppressed or overcome, but by being thanked, by being acknowledged for its service, by being told, gently and firmly, I understand why you are here. I appreciate what you have done for me, but I do not need you to protect me from this. This is what I have been waiting for. This is what we have been waiting for, and it is safe to let it in. Worthiness is not something you earn. It is not something that is granted to you by an external authority. Worthiness is what you are. It is the fundamental nature of consciousness itself. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy because the same intelligence that created galaxies and ecosystems and the laws of physics looked at the infinite field of possibility and chose to express itself as you. Not as a generic human, as you, with your specific frequency, with your specific gifts, with your specific wounds that became your specific wisdom. The universe does not make mistakes. It does not create beings that are unworthy of the life they have been given. That is a human concept, a small concept, a concept born of comparison and competition and the illusion of separation. You are not separate from the source of all creation. You are the source of all creation experiencing itself through the particular lens of your consciousness. And when you truly understand that, not as an idea, but as a lived reality, the question of worthiness dissolves. It does not get answered. It dissolves, because the question itself was based on a false premise. It was based on the premise that you are a small, separate self trying to earn the approval of a large, separate God. But there is no separation. There never was. The red alert was not God withholding from you. The red alert was you withholding from yourself until you were ready to remember what you are. And now you remember. Maybe not fully, maybe not in words, but in your cells, in your bones, in the quiet place behind your thoughts, where the real you has been waiting patiently for this exact moment. The red alert is over. You have been cleared. Not cleared to do something specific, not cleared to achieve something particular, cleared to be fully, without restriction, without apology, without the invisible chains of a containment field that served its purpose and has now dissolved into the light from which it came. What happens next is not up to fate. It is not up to God. It is not up to the universe. It is up to the consciousness that you are. The same consciousness that chose to come here. The same consciousness that chose the red alert. The same consciousness that survived the dissolution. The same consciousness that is hearing these words right now and recognizing them not as new information, but as a reminder of something it has always known. You are the one you have been waiting for. You have always been the one. The red alert was just the universe's way of making sure you knew it. Not in your mind, in your marrow, in the deepest, most unshakable part of your being. So stand up, not physically, unless you want to, but energetically. Stand up in your own life. Stand up in your own power. Stand up in the cleared field and let yourself be seen, not by the world, though the world will see you, but by yourself. Let yourself see what you have become. Let yourself witness the being that emerged from the chrysalis. Let yourself be astonished by your own because you are astonishing. Not in the way the ego wants to be astonishing. Not in a way that needs applause or validation, or followers or fame. Astonishing in the way that a sunrise is astonishing. In the way that a heartbeat is astonishing. In the way that consciousness itself, the fact that anything exists at all rather than nothing, is astonishing. You are that astonishment made flesh. You are the universe waking up inside a human body and remembering that it is the universe. And the red alert, the long, painful, confusing, beautiful red alert, was the alarm clock. And now you are awake. Breathe into that. Let it fill every corner of your being. Let it saturate your cells. Let it rewrite your nervous system. Let it become the foundation upon which everything that comes next is built. You have been cleared. Heaven's red alert is over. And what comes next is not something you need to figure out. It is something you need to allow, because it is already moving toward you with the same inevitability that the river moves toward the ocean. All you have to do is stop building dams. If these words found you today, they were meant to. If they stirred something in you that you cannot quite name, that stirring is the confirmation. You are not imagining this. You are not making this up. You are not being naive or delusional or foolish. You are being accurate. For perhaps the first time in your life, you are being completely, devastatingly, beautifully accurate about what you are and what is possible for you. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Not everyone will understand, but the ones who are meant to will feel it in their bones the way you felt it in yours. Leave a word in the comments. Just one word that captures what you are feeling right now. Not for me, for you. Because naming what you feel is the first act of creation in the cleared field. It is the first collapse of the wave function. It is the first conscious choice you make as the being you have become. And subscribe to this channel, not because I need your subscription, but because this frequency, this conversation, this ongoing exploration of what we are and what we are becoming, it is a thread. And every time you return to it, every time you tune in, you are pulling on that thread. And the thread is connected to something vast, something ancient, something that has been waiting for exactly this moment to reveal itself. The red alert is over. You have been cleared. And everything is about to change. Not someday. Now.